Have you ever wondered how you can work for free and still profit? I mean, like, does that even go in the same sentence, working for free and still profiting? That's what we're going to talk about this evening. A family that works for free, but yet they are producing profit. So let's dig in. So you may have seen this family on YouTube. They're called the Blessing Boys. And when you hear that name, Blessing Boys, you know, it kind of gives you an expectation, right? Well, I know many of us have this wonderful idea, like we want to volunteer for a particular cause, but often we let money be a barrier to, to actually putting our idea into action. Well, this is one family who has managed to not let money be a barrier, and they are actually doing a great service, and they do not take any direct pay from their clients, but yet they still profit. So the Blessing Boys, this is a family that includes mom, dad. There's 4 boys. And from what I understand, or from what I see on YouTube, it appears that the dad and the young men are the ones that are actually performing or delivering the service. Well, what they do is they're doing yard work. They're doing landscaping, and they're doing yard work in communities where you would actually drive by the home and you might say, well, nobody lives there. Or you may, drive by this home and say, oh my goodness, what has happened? So this service is being performed at homes where, like in one case, there was a lady who actually lost her husband. And of course, she needed this yard work done very badly. It was also done at a home where the homeowner was actually getting ready to be fined by the city because the house had been neglected. The beautiful thing is that whenever this family stops by and they ask, hey, can we do this yard work for you? The immediate answer is usually, I don't have any money to pay you. But it's such an amazing thing to see whenever this family says, well, no, you don't need to pay us. We do this for free. And so you can immediately see how this changes the whole conversation. So again, the Blessing Boys are able to deliver this service for free and yet be profitable. How does that happen, you say? Well, first of all, before I tell you how that happens, let's talk about what this family, or what these young men rather, are learning, because these young men that are performing the service, they are anywhere from elementary school to heading to high school, or perhaps in high school. These young men are learning entrepreneurship. They're learning compassion, selflessness, creativity, self before others. I mean, the list goes on. They're learning financial literacy. So they're rich just from the lessons that they're learning. I mean, that's like a huge profit right there. But on top of those lessons that they're learning, their profit is coming on the back end. So, when you have an idea, you're passionate about something, first of all, you know that you're solving a problem. You have this idea, and then, of course, you have someone who can benefit from this idea that you have. So this family, they immediately can see that there is a need. But on the back end, when you review their channel, you'll hear the young men talk about how proud they are of a book that they've written. Okay, so how about that? How about that for a income producing asset? They've actually produced a book. Also, when you go to their channel, you will see that they have a merch shop. In other words, they're selling different types of merch. I think the merch has their logo on it, Blessing Boys. They also appear that they have sponsorships, sponsorships that are related to the equipment that they're using to do the job. So again, profit on the back end. So it's just a beautiful thing. It just restores your thought about humanity because of so much going on. So the fact that they are doing this for free, it is so refreshing. On top of the fact that they are profitable on the back end, this is also a family that they have learned how to be tax efficient. This is another way of being profitable on the back end. And what I mean by that, there's a couple of tax strategies there. They're able to hire their kids. And this way, this family, they can reduce their tax liability. They can hire their kids. And as long as the kids are of appropriate age for the work that they are doing, they are able to hire their kids. And so this is a fantastic strategy. In addition to that strategy, families also, when they start a business, they want to be in the correct entity structure. Being in the correct entity, meaning, are you a sole proprietorship? Are you a LLC? Are you a S Corp? So being in the right entity is also going to be another tax strategy. So when you're a business owner, there's things to consider, but these are things or matters that are going to save you. So when you're a business owner, then of course, all of those expenses, like that equipment, like the marketing, all of this is going to serve to reduce this family's tax liability. So this is great tax strategy. So it is, again, their income on the back end. So I wanted to bring this to your attention because if you have an idea that you've been perhaps thinking about, I have a community, I have a space for you, and it's called Idea to Income. This space is for those of you who have, perhaps you've been going to work year after year, but you have an idea in the back of your mind, and you want to bring this idea, into fruition. You want to implement this idea. You need some structure around this idea, and you need a business model around this idea. This is a great business model that this family has demonstrated. This is a business model that actually works. Like we immediately think of the profit. This is a business model that actually works. And so you may be thinking, I have an idea. I have, something that I want to solve, something that I'm passionate about. So again, this is a community that I have started, Idea to Income. I want you to join my community because in this community, we're talking about how we can structure our ideas, how we can have strategies around ideas, and how we can create generational wealth with these ideas. So my name is Andrea Davis, and if you've never joined me, I'm a retired teacher. I'm a life insurance agent. I'm a mother of 2, and I would love to have you be a part of this Idea to Income community. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you, of course, found something that resonated with you, then I hope that you will share this with others. I hope that you will that you will subscribe, and again, join this community, Idea to Income. Thank you.